The four.
Welcome to the Doug Bailey Radio Show. Here's Doug Bailey.
On the phone right now is none other than award-winning actor, singer, author, and pitchman William Shatner. He'll be bringing his Shatner's World, We Just Live in It show to Hoyt Sherman Place on Thursday, November 2nd. William, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you mentioned that I'll be there. I'm looking forward to coming to the Hoyt, and we're all going to have a great time.
Is there anything you haven't done? I mean, you've won Emmys, you've won...
I haven't died.
Well, we hope not. I mean, we don't want you to die, no.
Well, if I died on stage at the Hoyt, it would really be great.
And, you know, have you been there before?
No.
It is a gorgeous venue.
Is it really? I'm looking forward to it.
It's a classic venue in
Oh,
a
come
classic
on.
part of town. And if you get a chance, have somebody take you around Sherman Hill, which is where it's basically in a neighborhood off of downtown, so you get to see a little bit of downtown, but the venue is unbelievable.
How wonderful. How lovely to be able to point with pride at something like that. The community can. And I will not sully the boards or the curtain. I will give luster, I hope, to the theater when they come, and they'll laugh and they'll cry and they'll have so much fun and only add to the Hoyt's marvelous reputation.
Well, you know, what can somebody expect when they come to this show?
Laughter, and then when they finish laughing, they'll sob a little bit. There'll be a few tears over something I've said, and then they'll laugh again, and then they'll be entranced by another story about a gorilla, or about a motorcycle, or about love, or about death, or about a horse, or comedy, or music. It's filled with entertainment. That's what they can expect.
What about a story of some little tribbles?
Yeah, we've had the tribbles.
I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I'm going to say that right up front. I'm a huge Star Trek fan.
Well, then I expect you to be there.
I'm planning on it because you're going to basically just talk about your entire career and everything that you've witnessed.
Yeah, but you know that's something I wouldn't go see. You know, he's going to talk about his career, and I don't care about his career. No, I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that's very funny. You are going to have the best time, and it's not. And then in 1901, I went. No, you're going to have fun listening to me and a gorilla.
I'm looking forward to it. What made you get into acting?
I never knew or thought of anything else. So I was very young, 6 years of age, and I did something at a summer camp. And then I never did anything else. I've never done anything else. I've never earned a dollar in any other way other than related to writing, directing, acting. I've never received an unemployment check. I've never received a handout. I've always worked and earned my way by performing.
Any part of this business that you haven't liked?
Well, I hate sweeping up floors. That's the worst job that people have given.
I've done that. I don't like it either.
Right. I mean, and then there was this elephant that I had to follow with a shovel. It was just awful.
As a Star Trek fan, how did you get to be able to play Captain Kirk?
How did I get the job?
How did you get the job?
Job. Think. Give. Get. How did I get the job? Well, they asked me. I had done some good stuff in films and on Broadway, and I had a good reputation, and I was making movies, really good movies, and then so they being Star Trek people had made a pilot with an actor who was quite popular at the time called Jeffrey Hunter, and they had made a pilot of Star Trek with Jeffrey Hunter. And it didn't sell, but the network was sufficiently intrigued to say, look, recast everybody and try again, because we think it has promise. So they went about writing a new script, and then they recast everybody but Leonard Nimoy, who had played Spock in the original, but he had smiled a lot, and after some due thought and the second chance at it, he grasped the totality of the character. And I came along, and I watched the original pilot, and I said, that's pretty fun. Everybody's taking themselves a little seriously, so maybe we could lighten up a little. And we made a second pilot, and it sold.
On the phone right now, William Shatner. He's bringing his Shatner's World. We Just Live in It to Hoyt Sherman Place on Thursday, November 2nd. Did everybody get along on the set?
50 years ago?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have no recollection of a harsh word anywhere.
Why do you think Star Trek franchise has lasted so long? I mean, I remember watching everything from the original show to Next Generation.
How old are you?
48.
48. And so when you were a kid 40 years ago, you started looking at Star Trek. So the answer to that question, which I think of as a mystery, lies within you. Why have you watched it?
I tried to figure out the outcome of the show as early on in the show as we could.
So you were intrigued by the story.
I was, but
so there you are.
Back then, it was just cool to see what they thought it was going to be like in the future.
Right, and that's science fiction, and I write science fiction all the time. And imagining the future is really an extraordinary process. I've got a book out there right now called Zero G2. It's a sequel to Zero G, in which I've envisioned the FBI, the G-men, out in zero G gravity, thus the title Zero G. So this is a sequel, and it's packed with concepts, ideas of what the future is going to be like. It's a great story. It's gotten great notices as a rousing read, as one critic put it. But the reason it's a great read is not only does it have a great plot and some characters, the whole milieu, the whole place that these people live is filled with invention. And that's what science fiction is. And although science fiction, like Star Trek, needs a great story, the environment is important as well to bring the magic of this is not 2017, this is 2300.
So then science fiction, is that what you liked at an early age, even before all this?
Yeah. I loved reading science fiction. And one of the things that I found so neat was getting to meet some of those science fiction writers who came to write stories for Star Trek. Many of those stories were written by great science fiction writers, and then they were turned into television screenplays, which is a art form in itself, by other writers.
Any of the original TV series or the movies, including the brand new, we got a new one coming out like in a month or so. What is your favorites? Do you have any favorites, or do you just like them all because...
Well, no, I liked Star Trek. I thought Star Trek V was the great movie of them all. I thought Star Trek V was better than anything ever produced. And the fact that I directed it has nothing to do with my opinion.
I did not realize you did that. Mine is, what would be 4? The one where you guys come back to...
With the whales?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the interaction.
That was that was terrific. But 5, my dear, yeah, no, I guess 4 is very popular. 5 has a whole history, a story. I could amuse you for an hour and a half with 5.
Maybe we should do that after your show.
Post-show, he will talk about Star Trek V.
On the phone right now, William Shatner. He'll be in town at Hoyt Sherman on Thursday, November 2nd, bringing his Shatner's World, We Just Live in It, to the Des Moines area. When you've got downtime, which I'm assuming it sounds like you don't have a lot of it, but when you do, when you kick back on your couch, your chair, whatever, do you have any shows that you watch today that you like?
I don't watch half-hour shows, so I'm at a complete loss when they say, and introducing this award-winning actor, and I don't know who he is or she is. So I watch a lot of news. I watch a lot of documentaries. I love great documentaries. I try to make them myself, and I have done several in the past. I love movies, sports events, but I'm a newsaholic. I love the drama of what's happening in the world today.
I get kind of a bunch of crap from my wife on that because our local news here, I'm assuming it's the same in every market, starts at 5 o'clock with our local news, and then network news at 5:30, then our local news at 6, and I get a lot of crap from her because I sit down for 90 minutes to watch the news.
Well, it's incredible. It's important for you being on the air to have have some knowledge about what's happening in current events.
Is that kind of what you do to keep up on current events?
Absolutely. No, I love to do it, but last night I was having dinner with a group of very knowledgeable people in the government, and we were talking about North Korea, we were talking about women driving in Saudi Arabia, and I knew I was right in there because I'd kept up with the whole evolution of those events.
You gotta love the news, though, right?
You love the news, and my show.
You hit on a lot of current events.
No, not current events, but subjects that are universal and will never stop, like love or children or comedy or motorcycles, speed, and music. I mean, the subjects I tackle on the one-man show are universal, so they're timeless. I mean, you talk about love and various kinds of. I do several minutes on different kinds of love of animals, love of children, love of mates, love of all kinds of weird love.
You've got me intrigued about this show now.
Come on.
I will be.
Bailey, you got to be there.
I've got one more question for you, and this has been bugging me. When I got it,
I don't want you bugged. Let me help you on this.
When I get to interview you, this is one of the questions it's been bugging me for years.
Oh my God, you're gonna pinch this pimple.
Stuff my dad said.
Yes.
I thoroughly loved the show. I thought you were just hilarious on it.
I was so happy to do that show.
What the hell happened to it?
What the hell happened? So we were like on the top 10 frequently, top 15 all the time. A great cast. And so now the studio goes to the network to say, all right, so what about next year? And the network says, well, this is what way we see it should go. And the writers say, well, no, we think... And they couldn't come to a meeting, so they said, well, you're canceled. Can you believe it? They don't know. They have no idea.
Did they not poll us people in the country and ask, what did you think? My wife and I loved it. We sat down, we watched it, and we laughed at it, and it was canceled, and
I was
sad.
I was very sad about that cancellation for a number of reasons. First of all, I loved doing it. It was ad-lib, a lot of it, in front of an audience, and that's the kind of thing, by the way, you will see happening on stage. There's that kind of laughter at times on stage in the one-man show. So performing in front of a live audience, at times on my own, but being fed by great jokes by some wonderful writers, that's the kind of thing that'll be in the one-man show.
I thank you for your time today, William Shatner.
The pleasure is mine. You take care of yourself, and I'll see you at the theater.
You are going to be at Hoyt Sherman Place on Thursday, November 2nd. Bring in your Shatner's World. We just live in it. Tickets still available. Go to kggo.com for all the information. William Shatner.
Douglas Bailey.
Appreciate it. It's been an honor to talk to you.
The pleasure is mine. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks for listening to the Doug Bailey Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform.